If you have a child born in 2025, 2026, 2027, or 2028, the United States government owes them $1,000. Not a tax credit, not a coupon, not a promise for later. An actual $1,000 deposit sitting in an investment account in your child's name. And in 10 days, on July 4th, 2026, these accounts officially go live. Here's the part that should genuinely concern you. As of late January, only about 500,000 families had actually claimed it, out of millions of eligible children. The U.S. Treasury Secretary said something remarkable about this program. Assuming historical market growth continues, that single $1,000 deposit, left alone from birth, could grow to $500,000 by the time your child retires. Today, we're going to walk through exactly who qualifies, exactly how to claim it, and exactly what to do with it once it lands. Because most parents have no idea this deadline exists. Here is why so many eligible families have not claimed this yet. This program was created inside the One Big Beautiful Bill, the same massive piece of tax legislation that included dozens of other provisions. Tax changes, tip income rules, overtime deductions, SALT deduction changes. Trump accounts were a small section, buried inside a much bigger bill. Most parents simply have not heard about it yet, and the ones who have often assume it requires more paperwork or complexity than it actually does. Here is the official process, and it is far simpler than most government programs. You file one IRS form, Form 4547. That is the entire election process to claim the account and the $1,000 deposit. No bank trip, no financial advisor required, no complicated investment decisions to make on day one. Just one form, filed with your tax return or submitted directly online at trumpaccounts.gov. Let's go through exactly who qualifies for what, because there are actually two separate programs here, and the details matter. The full $1,000 federal seed deposit goes to any child who is a U.S. citizen, has a Social Security number, and was born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. That is the core group. If your child falls inside that window, the $1,000 is waiting once you file the election. But here is a detail almost nobody is talking about yet. Up to 25 million children aged 10 or younger who were born before January 1st, 2025, and therefore do not qualify for the federal $1,000, may still be eligible for a separate $250 deposit. This one comes from a $6.25 billion charitable gift from the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation, specifically targeted at children living in zip codes where the median income is below $150,000. Remember that $500,000 retirement projection from the beginning of this video? That number assumed a single $1,000 deposit left completely untouched, growing through historical market returns for decades. Even the smaller $250 version follows the exact same mathematical principle, just starting from a smaller seed. And critically, any child under 18 with a Social Security number can open a Trump account, even if they do not qualify for either government deposit. They simply will not receive the free money, but the tax-advantaged account itself and the ability for family members to contribute is still available to them. Here is where it gets more complicated than a typical savings account, and where you need to pay close attention. Once opened, families and other contributors can add up to $5,000 per year into the account, And there is a detail buried in the IRS guidance that almost no one has covered yet. Employers can contribute up to $2,500 of that limit through a pre-tax cafeteria plan, similar to how a dependent care flexible spending account works, but for long-term investing instead. That means if your employer offers this benefit, you could potentially reduce your own taxable income while building wealth for your child simultaneously. Here is the part that requires real attention, though. The funds are not flexible like a 529 college savings plan. They are invested exclusively in low-cost index funds, tracking the S&P 500 or similar US-focused indexes, by design, with an expense cap of just 0.10%. And the money is locked. Generally, no withdrawals are permitted before January 1st of the year your child turns 18. At that point, the account automatically converts into a traditional IRA, full of all the same age and tax rules that apply to any other traditional IRA. This is the detail every parent needs to understand clearly. This is not a flexible education fund like a 529 plan. Withdrawals after 18 for purposes other than retirement are taxed as ordinary income and may carry an additional 10% penalty before age 59 and a half. There is also a meaningful trade-off worth knowing about before you get too excited. Financial planning experts note that Trump accounts will likely be treated as a student's own asset on the FAFSA financial aid application, assessed at a higher rate than money sitting in a parent-owned 529 plan. For families planning around college financial aid eligibility, that detail matters enormously. Here is exactly what to do, and in what order, before and after the July 4th launch. Step 1. If you have an eligible child, file Form 4547 as soon as possible. You can do this through trumpaccounts.gov directly, or by including the election when you file your tax return. There is a strict priority order for who can make this election. Legal guardian first, then parent, then adult sibling, then grandparent. Once one person files the election, nobody else can open a duplicate account for that same child, so coordinate within your family before anyone files. Step 2. Do not wait until July 4th to file. The Treasury needs to confirm your account is active before depositing the $1,000, and filing early avoids any backlog as the launch date approaches. Step 3. Ask your employer directly whether they offer a Section 125 cafeteria plan with Trump account contributions. This is brand new, and many HR departments may not even know about it yet. If your company does offer it, contributing through pre-tax payroll deductions is one of the most efficient ways to build this account, since it reduces your taxable income while growing your child's wealth. Step 4, and this is the one with the biggest long-term impact. Do not treat this as a replacement for a 529 plan if college savings is a priority for your family. Given the FAFSA treatment and the lack of flexibility for education-specific withdrawals, the smartest approach for most families is to treat the Trump account purely as what it is designed to be, an early head start on retirement investing, and continue using a 529 plan separately for anything education-related. Most government programs require complicated math, dozens of pages of paperwork, or years of waiting to see any benefit. This one requires one form, takes a few minutes, and starts compounding the moment it lands, for decades before your child even understands what investing means. Here is what you need to remember. Trump accounts launch July 4th, 2026, 10 days from now. Children born between 2025 and 2028 qualify for a $1,000 federal deposit. Up to 25 million additional children may qualify for a separate $250 charitable deposit. The entire election process is one form, IRS Form 4547, filed at trumpaccounts.gov or with your tax return. Your action plan. File the election as soon as possible. Coordinate with family on who claims it. Ask your employer about pre-tax contribution options. And treat this as retirement savings, not a replacement for your child's college fund. Only 500,000 families had claimed this as of a few months ago. Millions of eligible children are still waiting on money that already belongs to them. If this video helped you understand a program that could genuinely matter for your family, hit that subscribe button and consider sharing it with anyone you know who just had a baby. Every week on First Million Club, we break down exactly these kinds of real money opportunities before the deadline passes, not after.